It's a Circus of Value!
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today I'm revisiting AbZURd, Eternal Schemer. AbZURd is an Esper Enchantments deck, which is interesting on its own, but gets even more wild when you realize what AbZURd does. AbZURd gives your enchantment creatures deathtouch, lifelink, and hexproof, but maybe you don't have that many enchantment creatures because in these colors there's not too many and they're not that good. So what you can do instead is you can turn your non-aura enchantments into enchantment creatures. AbZURd is so fun because you can do things like throw down a big saga, animate the saga, watch it flip, get extra constellation triggers. You can even blink your sagas after turning them into creatures with Thassa. And speaking of gods, they're incredible in this deck. So normally with the Theros gods, you have to reach devotion. You have to get something to make them into creatures. For example, with these ones, it's going to be 5 color pips on your cards. That's 5 devotion in order to make them into creatures. So why would you do that when you can just pay 2 mana to turn them into creatures? Now, we've got a lot of actually really fun new cards in here from especially March of the Machine and Aftermath. We've got battles that turn into enchantments. We've got ones that find enchantments. We've got so many fun cards that go great into AbZURd, including not 1, but 2 new gods. We have Heliod, the Radiant Dawn, who brings back an enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. Very helpful. Can also help you cast things for Flash or for a discount. And we also have, where is it? Invasion of Theros, which turns into Afara, Ever Sheltering, which is an Azorius Enchantress. It draws you a card when enchantments enter the battlefield under your control. And that's great because we don't actually have that kind of effect in white. Now, there are a lot of ways you can build into the more spamming enchantments, bouncing them into your hand, or you can go out to build up the board with these big indestructible creatures. I also think that it's really fun that because we are in Esper colors, we can also run cards like Alayla, who make you extra flyers when you're casting instant or artifacts and enchantments. It's really fun, and the end game, I'm going to say, is that we attack our opponent with Omni, because if we're casting all our stuff for free, we may as well turn this into a 10-10 and swing it in at our opponent's face, because the power and toughness is equal to mana value on something like AbZURd. This is a really fun deck. I think you're going to love it, so we're going to take it into the queue and we're going to animate some enchantments. Niv-Mizzet Supreme. Niv-Mizzet Supreme is the newest iteration of the big old dragon from Ravnica, and this one has hexproof from monocolored. Not actually that big of an issue, but it does mean it will have hexproof from some of our removal, I was about to say, like our leyline bindings and similar. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that back. Niv-Mizzet Supreme is also a big flyer that gives your instants and sorceries that happen to be a 2-color combo jumpstart. So you can discard a card from hand and replay them. Trial of Ambition. It would get around that hexproof, but also they don't have any creatures out, so I'm not going to do anything with it. Right now I'm thinking Black Market Connections. We can throw that down this turn. Hopefully it doesn't get countered. There are some 2-color counter spells, but they don't have any blue up right now. They just had some black, white, and green. We're going to be paying 6 life. I know me. I'm going to pay 6 life. Boop, boop, boop. Do what you dream of. And what I dream of is paying the 6. Let's see, they've got enough mana. Could be a board wipe coming up in a turn. I like just throwing down Invasion of Theros. This lets me search for an aura, god, or demigod. And because they could play their commander next turn, let's grab this Curse of Silence. Pay 2 life, get this in, and we will name their commander, Niv-Mizzet Supreme. Niv-Mizzet. So many Niv-Mizzets. Supreme! Like a taco from Taco Bell. That's what this Niv-Mizzet is. Invasion of Theros, if we can get it to flip over, will give us Afara Ever Sheltering. That would be awesome, especially because we will have lots of enchantments, and hopefully this will have Indestructible. If we have AbZURd out, it will also have Hexproof, also Lifelink Deathtouch. Many, many, many abilities. I pay the 6. If you're wondering why I feel so comfortable paying the 6, The reason is because AbZURd does give lifelink to our enchantment creatures. This is an aura, so I can't animate it. I could animate this, but I'm going to try to get the flip on Invasion of Theros here. Towards the Plowshares on AbZURd. In response, I am going to animate Black Market Connection, paying these 2 treasures. Hi, I'm a 3/3. And that got vetoed! Alright, and remember, that has Jumpstart, they're able to bring it back. I'm gonna flip over the Invasion of Theros, and I'm gonna hope that they don't have a board wipe. They do have double white mana right now, so if there was a time they could make a board wipe happen, it would be now. Hello there. Only 2 of the 4 required to get that special indestructible. Casualties of war. Oh no! Even destroying my lands. If only we had Nightmare Shepherd out. Oh well, we don't. Here it is now. Nightmare Shepherd, and I swing in for 6. All that hard work undone by a giant multicolored spell. Whirlwind of Thought turns casting these non-creature spells into card draw. Nice way to go through your deck. We have so much damage lined up here. Love that. I don't really have any protective spells. I'm thinking like, ooh, Smothering Tithe could be cute. I'm gonna throw down AbZURd. Swing in with these guys. Get them down to 9 life. We're beaten in. We actually have some protection for our creature too. Like if this dies, we get it back as a 1/1. Kind of nice. You can't target this. And Niv Mizzet coming out. Do I want to sacrifice this? Yes, because I think I'm winning the game maybe next turn. Niv Mizzet Supreme sure can cast those spells, but you'd need the mana. You don't have the mana. And you don't have any blockers either. Trial of Ambition forces them to sacrifice. We swing in for lethal. Did I have fun? Sure did. GG. Atali the Crimesaur. This seems like an okay hand, but it is missing blue. Still going to keep it. Can curse their commander because they're going to be ramping and ramping and ramping some more. Atali Primal Conqueror is all about getting your commander out, because when you do, when it enters the battlefield, you get the top spell that's in each player's library for free. That's awesome. Also, nice way of doing some workaround fixing right there. That was very cute. They used their Strike It Rich to get the treasure, so they could then play Elvish Mystic, getting themselves a red source and a green source. They can also transform, by the way. Their commander turns into an 11/11 that is a bit of a Blightsteel Colossus. It doesn't just deal damage, trampling damage, it also kills you dead. Real hard. So I curse thee. You're Atali. I pay 1 life. And I say, you cost 2 more. Primal Conqueror. If you name the backside, I don't think it would do anything. Get out AbZURd. Get invade Theros. Get a god in hand. Sounds good to me. I'm invading Theros. Paying another 1 life. Now, which god do I think would be most useful here? Or Aura. I don't think I have any auras left. We already have our Curse of Silence out. Heliod, Thassa, Erebos, or other Heliod. This Heliod's the easiest for me to animate. This one brings things back from the graveyard. This one blinks. The blinking's real fun. Erebos, kills stuff. Love that. I'm gonna go for 3 mana Heliod. Our deck is mostly white, so sometimes you can just get the devotion. 5 devotion, not too hard for this Heliod. And I think they have 7, but since we tax this up to 9, they're not quite there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. That's just fine and dandy, since we can remove some of that mana. I feel like either the Elvish Mystic or the Arcane Signet are fine targets here. So I'm going to hit the Arcane Signet over the Mystic, in case we get some creature-based removal here. And now we do have enough devotion for Heliod. Ooh, Vorinclex! Slightly bigger than Heliod. 5/5 versus 6/6 with trample and reach. Yes, this Vorinclex has reach. The other ones do not. This one does. Gets them 2 forests, including non-basic forests. Wait, they did all this without forests so far. Good for them. I don't have enough mana for Sublime Epiphany. Only have 1 type of basic, so my Leyline Binding doesn't do all that much. And remove Vorinclex. Very exciting. Leyline Binding, by the way, super fun to animate with Zur. Super fun to animate with Zur. Definitely not thinking about doing that right now. That would be wild. I'm not doing that. Well, that's silly. I was thinking about it. Here's Heliod. Something kind of fun. If I flip this over, I actually lose the devotion from this card. It still has a mana value of 3, but it has no colored mana pips. It has a color of blue and white, though. Atali comes out. They're going to get the top spell of each deck. I'm not going to sacrifice this. Keep those taxes. On my end, they got Smothering Tithe. That's a great one. Punishes my card draw. And on their side, Cityscape Leveler. Oof. Oh, please do target Heliod. Heliod's indestructible, so I would just get a Power Stone. They don't have enough mana to pay the 2 here. And Curse of Silence? Sure. Alright, they didn't go for the curse. They tried to target Seal. Didn't work. We're indestructible. We prevent 5 of the 6. Do what we can. Do we draw? Do we pay the 2? I don't wanna, but I will. Throw this down. That's gonna give me all my basic land types. We now have this Leyline Binding available to flash out. But I'm throwing down Zur. I have no fear. Only flippies. Deathtouch. Lifelink. Indestructible. Put a +1/+1 counter onto Zur. They don't want me flipping that, which is fair. A Llanowar Elf, because a lot of the ramp they did was treasures, they don't actually have enough to transform Atali here, but this Atali still does a lot of damage on its own. Like, that's 13 on the swing. I'm going to take it. Do I pay the 2? No, I don't, actually. Oh, we've got Atrios. We've got a Sublime Epiphany. Nightmare Shepherd. I'm actually really feeling this Nightmare Shepherd here. Since I can play Nightmare Shepherd, throw down Coldsteel. I think it would be better for me to do something with Sublime Epiphany, Leyline Binding, really behaving at instant speed here. So I'm going to pass the turn. We can animate this at instant speed. We can go ahead and remove something at instant speed, which could be important if they try to activate the abilities on one of these or attack with a Cityscape Leveler. Alright, so they are actually going for this Vorinclex. I could do Sublime Epiphany here. That sounds kind of fun, but I don't have anything I really want to copy. I'd want to animate this first. So I'm going to Leyline Binding it. Hey. Bye. And this can turn into a 6/6 with all of the text that's on Heliod. Hey, do you want to attack into Heliod? He's got a lot of things. They chose no. I'm going to animate Seal of Existence just to get myself another Death Toucher. Do I pay the 2? Decline. I do not. Atrios sounds fun. I'm going to swing with these 2. Offer them the trade with Atali, because then they will be able to cast Atali again, and they will get that enter the battlefield again. They don't think that trade's worth it. I'm going to buff up Heliod. Here comes Afara, and now I can either hold the Sublime Epiphany, or we could throw down Atrios and do some crime. I'll throw down Atrios. Nothing I want to steal here, so I think I'm actually going to put this back up on... Shield from Existence to bring it back when it dies. That sounds pretty good. These are both indestructible. Also, hexproof, lifelink, deathtouch. Good text to have. Ulamog! Thank you, hexproof, for helping protect me. I think it's going to be Zur and Leyline Binding. Gone forever. Well, Zur will come back, because we can bring it back from the command zone. They'll get 2 more lands off Vorinclex entering the battlefield. Feels pretty good for them. And they do technically have the ability to pay 2. If there wasn't hexproof happening too. Yep, move that right back. Still indestructible. This one still has lifelink. Hey, you want to maybe swing in? I don't know. I wouldn't mind gaining some more life. Do I pay the 2? No. And am I sure about it? Absolutely. I'm just being cheeky here. I drew a card off of Farah there. They do have the Cityscape Leveler, which could destroy this. I just wanted to get rid of their mana dorks because I'm having fun. If this gets destroyed, it will come back. These are indestructible, but their creatures are currently bigger. So let's throw a coin counter onto Vorinclex. Something kind of cute here. It does say exile Vorinclex. I don't know how that would work. I think because it's all part of the same ability resolving, if Vorinclex flickers to this ability, it would stay under their control. Ulamog, when it attacks in, will be exiling the top 20 cards in my library, though. Notable. Very notable. I'm hoping to get the opportunity to chump block with the Seal from Existence, so it can die, so I can then exile it. As for stealing the Ulamog, I don't feel like that's reliable. That's why I'm not doing it. I want to know. Flip it. I believe because it is part of all of the same resolution, it won't do anything, though. Ooh, Atali! Also indestructible. I just have a pile of indestructibles here, so, sure. No trample damage happening here. If you had a Shadow Spear, maybe I'd be afraid, but I don't see any Shadow Spears. We even gained some life off that. Which means I can buff one of my creatures. Let's buff Ifara. We can also use Sublime Epiphany to make a copy of this, since we can hold up enough mana. Do I pay the 2? No. Should I? Maybe. Do I want to? No. Ooh, Brilliant Restoration. That could be fun if we had more stuff in the graveyard. Feeling yeah, I'll pay the 2 this time. I'll also use this Coldsteel Heart, ramp myself a bit more. Sure, let's get some more blue. Attacking in, still doesn't do much for me. I'll put a coin counter onto Nightmare Shepherd. That way, if this dies, it'll come back if they find some way to remove my my battlefield. Looking at you, Cityscape Leveler. We can also make copies of Nightmare Shepherd using Sublime Epiphany. Alright, here comes Ulamog. I'm going to do what I mentioned before, which is this Seal with Existence block. I'm actually also going to block with Farah. That's just me gaining life. Okay. They're going for the mill. Alright, I see what's going on here. They know what text this has now. I'm gonna make my Nightmare Shepherd bigger. Bigger than your Vorinclex. Hi. I still have 57 remaining in my deck. Making some treasures over there. Atali likes this. Manglehorn. Get to destroy an artifact. No, my heart. They've broken my heart. That's so sad. Cirque Root, they're ramping. Oh, come on. You can't just show me Painful Quandary and not have me play it. I'm going to be a really, really responsible gamer and not play my Painful Quandary. Even though I really want to. I'm going to attack him with Nightmare Shepherd. It flies. Pass the turn. Throw a coin on Ulamog. And we have our 6 mana for Sublime Epiphany. We let this happen, right? I want to see what will happen. I do have the ability to counter this, but I want to know. The abilities on the stack, it didn't do anything. Okay. So let's see what they mill and what they get back. Looks like an Elder Gargaroth and a Palladium Mirror. I see a little bit like a goose. Oh, maybe they just want to block our near. Sure. So we found out for science, because it's all part of the same ability resolving, it looks like they get to keep it. Magic science at work. I'll counter your cultivate. Sure. I'm going to bounce your Gargaroth. I'm going to clone my Seal from Existence, and I will draw a card, and you will get some mana. I'm ready for my Ulamog. Oh, I know we can bounce this. I don't wanna. Let them cook. But let me have an Ulamog. They're thinking. They're waiting. They're seeing. Everything's happening. Do I pay the 2? Nope. Exile the Ulamog. Atrios sees a creature with a coin counter get exiled and says, "Is this for me?" Atrios, it is for you. Ulamog re-enters the battlefield on our side. We draw a card off the abilities, and now we're feeling pretty good. We do, in fact, have a token copy of Seal from Existence. It has nothing under it, though. Hey, Atali. Want to swing into my indestructible gods? No? That's too bad. I will pay the 2 here. I'm also going to banish the Grand Evolution. We drew it. May as well. Do I wish to pay the 2? Alright, I don't really have anything I'm doing with this mana. Swinging in the air, they can block. Swinging with Ulamog, it's Ulamog. Yeah, sounds good to me. They get the top 20 cards exiled off their deck. They are deeper in their deck because they had flipped this Foreign Collects. Indestructible versus indestructible. Who wants a coin counter? I guess in case they get rid of my Afara. That way we're bringing her back. This would come back as Invasion of Theros. If it dies, Bo, if a transformed battle creature dies with Nightmare Shepherd out, I believe we just get a copy of the creature. Here comes the Leveler. Who do you destroy? We have a lot of indestructible stuff. I mean, things protected by other abilities. Like this one. Yes, it dies, but it comes right back. Oh, we draw a card. You get a treasure. I can't pay the 2. And it looks like our opponent is saying, oh, so you're just gaining life off that? I sure am. GG Atali. Couldn't beat my army of gods. Tamiyo, Field Researcher. Not a card I can say I love because, well, usually when it's a commander, it means it's going to be Super Friends, Tempo Control. The main goal of this deck is to get out their commander, and then ult their commander. Get to that -7 by plussing, which is strong, or minusing, which, you know, still buys you a couple turns, gives you this nice little lockdown effect. And I'm going to do my best against them. See, Teferi's Protection, I actually don't think that's what I want during this game. I feel like they are going to be throwing this down, plussing, drawing lots of cards, and what we're going to want are actually creatures that have a lot of extra value, which is what we have here. They're ramping up into Tamiyo. She's going to come out early. I don't have a way to stop her. Alright, we draw. I'm going to drop this Temple of Silence. Comes in tapped. Yeah. Midnight Clock. Unfortunately, it doesn't generate black mana, so I can't follow up with a Kiba Reckoner raid. Oh, a Midnight Clock of their own. They are not playing their commander this turn. They're actually getting more mana dorks out. Hello, Elysian Caryatid. We have an Ashiok's Erasure, which is a counterspell, which we can use on their commander, and then hopefully blink later to use it again. I am not casting anything here because I'm holding up a counterspell. It's not actually a counterspell, though. Ashiok's Erasure exiles a spell on the stack. It has text, though, that also prevents you from doing anything else. Oh, they want to do an ult all on one turn. Ashiok's Erasure. We're going to go ahead and take that Vorinclex and put it straight into exile. This will go back into their hand if this is removed from play. I don't have enough mana for Ethereal Absolution, which is a shame because it would be really funny here. So I'm going to toss down AbZURd. AbZURd is going to let me give hexproof by animating one of these if I feel the need to do so. It also gives deathtouch and lifelink and hexproof to my other enchantment creature, which is great because now if they block with this, it dies. And I'm just a big fan of that. AbZURd, who protects and animates our enchantments. Here's Tamiyo. Do you plus?
The moon looks intriguing tonight.
Choosing just AbZURd and Elysian Caryatid.
Every story is worth
Pass to attackers. Nothing there. I'm going to animate Ashiok's Erasure. Makes it more susceptible to board wipes, less susceptible to everything else. My rats exit the battlefield and return. I just want to, like, exile her. Thinking about it. I'm also thinking about playing Erebos here. Let's toss all y'all at Tamiyo. See what happens. We'll get to draw one card off this block.
Violence is impolite.
I want to draw a card too. No fair. Let's pop down Erebos. In case of a board wipe, maybe an indestructible will do the trick. Oh yes, you have a very cool enter the battlefield animation. Do you guys remember how things used to have enter the battlefield animations in Arena? Yeah, that was a time. That was a time. Overwhelming Splendor! Gonna turn all my creatures into 1/1s with no other abilities. That's fine. We can get rid of it. But, like, also, how dare you? But also, how dare you? What did you choose? It's hard for me to tell. These two, alright? I'll wait until I draw. Guess I get a land. We got a land. Land. Lantern. Ooh, do you have a counter spell? They absolutely might. Cast out. Does it resolve? An offer I can't refuse. I mean, I'd like to refuse it. But it seems you're not giving me that opportunity. I can't activate the ability of Erebos. So now what we have to do is we need to find another piece of removal. Knight of Autumn destroys Ashiok's Erasure. We will draw a card. Yes, please. Oh! Vorinclex, I think, stayed in exile because Ashiok's Erasure did not have the text of when Ashiok's Erasure leaves the battlefield, the exiled card goes back to its owner's hand. I didn't know that would happen. And you know what? Neither did they. Next turn, this Absolution's going to clear their board. It's going to give us a way to kill Tamiyo again. And their Midnight Clock is going to fire pretty soon. Also, I want all my spells to be free because my Midnight Clock is going to fire too. Boom. Who needs text? I don't need text. Die, Tamiyo.
I will not stand for such
You won't stand for this, huh? Enjoy your card draw before midnight strikes. This is going to be their priority #1 to remove. Me being able to cast things from hand is huge, but if they can get rid of the clock, they might go for that as well. Uro enters the battlefield, it's going to sacrifice itself, and they don't actually have enough in graveyard to bring it back. If they can, like, channel another card, get something in their graveyard, they will be able to escape it before it gets shuffled back in with the Midnight Clock. Oh, I mean, that technically does work, but you don't have double green right now. Ah, now you do. Fabro Elder, though, is their choice, not Uro. Guess they want Uro to get shuffled back in. Every day, we do shuffle. Bing bong. Wait. Let me tap it. There we go. Flip that mana. Ooh, do you have a Tail's End? They can stifle the trigger. No, they're exiling Zur. Okay. Sure. Ah, what lovely spells we have. But none of them get rid of the Ding-Dang Splendor! Take out that Fabro Elder. We'll toss down Authority at a Consuls. We're gonna hold our counter spells, I suppose. We can also play Zur just to have another creature out. Not really necessary. Boop, boop. Just as we could play some of these other things. I'll play the outside. Play the Zur. I don't have anything else I need to use my mana for. This will show me their hand next turn. And also let me pick a card, a non-creature, to take out of it. Mirari's Wake. That will be doubling their mana. And to that I say, no. No doubling your mana. Might also stop them from doing things on this turn. Loran of the Third Path. What do you destroy? She immediately dies because of Ethereal Absolution. Do you destroy Ethereal Absolution? I can't activate this because of, you know, that thing happening. Maybe you want to hit Elspeth's Nightmare. I know it's so spooky. Aw, we're back to being 1/1s. Boo! Boo! They have Uro and lands. If I fare well here, hitting enchantments, I do hit this. But I also hit everything else. Do I think it's worth it? No. But I am going to keep that in mind for a future turn. And I'm going to toss down some other stuff that are going to be wee baby 1/1s because I ain't got anything else here, do I? Yeah, get out of here, you dang elf. So tempting. You know what? I am gonna pay this for X equals 0. I don't want a board wipe. I just want a reward for my creatures dying. Uro comes down. They are going to gain life. I'm also going to gain life. I have 38 life right now. But they cannot currently escape this from the graveyard. So maybe I can exile graveyards and, oof, enchantments gives them the wake back. Maybe they'll get rid of this first. Hi, Tamio. Do you want a plus? Get some card advantage? It's what I'm missing. Who did you choose? You chose these two. Alright, there goes the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, of these two, pick that one, because that way they'll draw one card. This is a very unusual game. I love how much of this is just, yep, okay. They went for the farewell first. Oh, that's funny. They hit the all modes farewell, getting their Mirari's awake. Well, you know what? Two can play that game. Boop, 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 boop. I farewell, you farewell. Say goodbye to your cards, your creatures, your everything. Blue. Blue sounds good. I have the least amount of blue among my mana sources. Unfortunately, on an empty board, their Tamio does win. Hi, Tammy. Here comes AbZURd. Remember, this is going to ult and draw cards every turn. That's just how this Tamio rolls. Yeah, just two people saying goodbye to each other. It's very polite. They plus selecting these two creatures. If I block here, this will die, but they'll draw two cards. They'd be drawing at least one card and then another one when I attack anyway. Cirque Root, they ramp. They're also thinning their deck a little here. Come on, top deck city. Give me a nice, big, beautiful enchantment. Chapter 1. Show me your secrets. You have a counter spell in hand? Chapter 1, show me your secrets. What do you have? Otawara! They can bounce that back into my hand. I am going to let them draw another card. But I have a way to kill Tamio now. I can animate this to hit for 5. Hi, Yasharn. Yasharn stops sacrifice abilities. They also get more lands than that deck. To select the only two creatures that are on the board. Oops. Wait until the end of their turn. And we will animate Cruelty of Gix. This will also give it hexproof. Now let's see if they want to try bouncing in response. We can just use the activated ability again. No. I don't think so. Now, what card do I have that I think will give me the most value on this board? Now, I actually think this is probably it. Kiora bests the Sea Gods. Elspeth conquers death. Behold the Unspeakable. These are also great. They give me some card draw. They give me card advantage. They're really nice, but I think I just want a real big fish. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. In I swing. Give you some potential card draw here. Oh, I like how they have a little tap on here because they're like, this is not supposed to be tapped.
Your aggression is
They draw 2 cards. I curse them. I say, you're Tamio. I hate her. Tamio, Field Researcher. And we can animate our Kiora Best the Sea Gods. This is going to sacrifice, though. And let me steal. Depopulate. Okay. There goes my fish. All of Storm Giants. Hello. Something I can attack with from the back line. And Elish Norn, who shrinks the creatures. There's Grow Mine Shrink.
glad to help my cause.
Oh, you're tapped, huh? Do I have 2 mana to animate after? Don't. Still, here's Zur. I'm stealing that Tamio. I want that Tamio. If I can get that Tamio out, I'll be very, very happy. Let's see if they can. They didn't proliferate. They could take an extra turn. Scrap Gorger can exile from the graveyard. We're good. That is my Tamio Field Researcher. And she is ulting. That's what I want to see. You don't win the game. I win the game. Using your commander, of course. GG Tamio. The first sliver as companioned by Karuga. That tells me that they've got nothing cheap in their deck. Nothing that costs less than 3, which tells me it is not a Slivers deck. The first sliver, as a Slivers deck, wants to have things that cost 2 and 1 mana because you cascade into them. On top of that, you also have the whole, you know, some of the best Slivers cost 2 mana. Cloud Shredder, looking at you. This deck is going to be ramp on 3, and then big 5-color good stuff. I know that's how it's going to be. I just accept it as truth, and I'm going to tax the first sliver. We'll do our best. We do have some cards that are pretty good against that type of deck, Smothering Tithe being a big one. And we just drew some fixing, because I was about to say, we don't have black mana, and that's not great. We are in Esper colors, though, ready to take them down. Skyclave Relic, they ramp, we ramp. I'm tithing. Ooh, we're gonna make them pay some taxes whenever they draw a card. Do you pay the 2? They did pay the 2. Maybe they're going to play a land and another mana rock this turn. They shocked in a Watery Grave, and they're just moving Karuga into hand. Nice. Wow. Here comes Zur. And I could animate my Smothering Tithe and attack with it. But I don't trust like that, so I'm just going to pass the turn. I need to see what they do. I also need to kill this fruit fly that's buzzing around me. I got it. They gave me a treasure. A lovely treasure. And here comes the Kami War. Who are you exiling? Really, sir? Okay. Kami War's scary. We're in jail. Swing for 4. And hold up Teferi's protection. They did not pay the 2. We have a little extra here. And they bolted this in. They paid 3 life. Here comes the first sliver. I am not going to sacrifice it right now. Let's see what they cascade into. Is that an Oracle of Moldiah? It is! This lets them play lands off the top of their library. That's not a land. That's a Binding the Old Gods. A great card, though. I'm going to pay 1-2. And exile, or not exile, kill the Oracle of Moldiah. Passing right back. We know they'll have some removal here, so I want to hold my Teferi's protection. Do you pay the 2? Wait until they target. And we say... BRB. Be right back. I don't exist right now, so just like, wait a minute. Selvala is going to tap for 7 mana, as long as the first sliver's on the battlefield, but she has to be alive to do that, so... There's no Selvala here. There's never been a Selvala. Selvala doesn't exist. She's not real and she can't hurt you. Here comes Zur. Able to reanimate. By which I mean animate again. I think we... Excuse me? There's absolutely Kami War under there. That's weird. I'm going to animate the Meat Hook Massacre. It's a little 2-2. It's a 2-2 with Death Touch. And swing in. Now, them casting the first sliver again is good for them, because it means they get to cascade again. I just want to gain some life, have some fun. Gonna grab a forest. It doesn't have to be a forest, and since they're a 5-color deck, it will probably be a Triome. Something with 3 colors. They got Zagoth Triome. A bit more blue, black, and green. If they play Karuga, they'll currently be drawing 3 cards. And they're taking an extra turn. Alrund's Epiphany. Being cast from hand so they do not get the birds. This is the alchemy version of Alrund's Epiphany. If you want to attack him, that's fine. Do you pay the 2? This sacrifices. They're now actually getting fewer cards off of Karuga. And now, for some reason, the Kami War is correctly depicting underneath our enchantment. Ah, one with the multiverse! This will allow them to cast their spells for free. Well, 1 spell each turn. And they can also cast spells from the top of their library. Invasion of Tolvada lets them bring back one of these 3 cards. Looks like it's going to be Binding the Old Gods, and what do you target? Zur. In response... Actually, I'm gonna go with Oath of Kaya, since I think I'm gonna be blocking as they swing into this. Because this makes them a blocker each turn. And even though this loses the Death Touch, I need to make sure I'm able to maintain my status in the battlefield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gosh, that's so close to lethal. I'm going to take away the free spells. I love that the Tithe is just a guy right now. I actually have Invasion of Tolvada in this deck because it turns into an enchantment and it can bring enchantments back from the graveyard. Invasion of Tolvada, I feel like, is an incredibly good, versatile card that just doesn't have a shell. It is standard legal. One, two, 3, 4. Would you like to draw some cards, Karuga? On top of that, would you like to pay the 2 for each of those cards you draw? They're thinking about it. Displacer Kitten. Oh no. Things are gonna get blinky in here, aren't they? Able to exile and bring back non-land permanents like this one. Thankfully, this will sacrifice if they don't have something at instant speed, which I'm going to go ahead and hope that they don't. Here's Zur. I just want to swing in with something big. No, I think I have to protect my current creatures with the hexproof that we got. Go to attacks. I'll tag in with Oath of Kaya. Take a chump block with a Solemn Simulacrum. Walk with their first sliver. They can cast it again. Get that Cascade. He's just a little kitty. A little kitty that enables horrible, horrible things to happen. They draw a card. They did not pay the 2. Their creatures get deathtouch. Hey, a bunch of my creatures have deathtouch too. Isn't that a nice coinky dink? Here comes Karuga. I'm sorry, I didn't say it right. Karuga! Karuga draws them so many cards. Do you pay the 2? Let me actually ask again. Do you pay the 2? Do you pay the 2 though? How about the 2? No? Okay. The 2? Chat, they did not pay the 2. Or the 4 or the 6 of the 10. We have a lot of treasures. So many treasures. If they try to target one of these with removal, we can animate it to give it hexproof. Right now, Zur is my only evasive creature, and I'm sure some of you have realized what I'm trying to do. Michiko's Reign of Truth. Maybe making Zur a bit more formidable as an attacker. And with all these treasures, because this counts artifacts and enchantments, oh, I'm so ready for the lethal swing. I have to make sure this does not flip, but that's super doable. It's my turn. And their last, Michiko's Reign of Truth. Zur becomes a 16-19 and swings in for lethal. GG. Well, I don't really think this is their commander. I'm gonna say Golos was their secret commander. Golos. It's never really the first sliver, is it? Atraxa Praetor's Voice. All about that +1/+1 planeswalk and proliferate. Atraxa Praetor's Voice is a very strong creature on its own. It's, well, you can see for yourself, a 4-mana 4/4 flying vigilance deathtouch lifelink. Wow, that's a lot of text. It proliferates at end step. That means that anything that has counters on it, independent of the type of counter, is going to get better with this Atraxa. Now, this Atraxa is strong and could be playing multiple themes. I actually have an Atraxa deck that is, funnily enough, a Sagas deck. I built Atraxa as an Enchantress deck because I could. Now, do I think that's what they have? No. I suspect that this is probably going to be either Poison, +1/+1, or Planeswalkers. Maybe a combination of all those because it's fun. Hey, a Thoughtseize, what do you hit? Trial of Ambition, stop me from making you sacrifice this. Ignore that I don't have any black mana. Ethereal Absolution, maybe you have tokens in your deck. Or Invasion of Theros because it's the most value I could get. Ah, I draw the black mana right as they make me discard the Trial of Ambition. That's rough. Do I want to go for Invasion of Theros this turn? I think I will, and I'm going to hold the fact that I got black mana a secret. It's a secret. They can't know about it. And I will reveal Heliod. What's special about this Heliod? Well, it's going to let me get back an enchantment from my graveyard, like this one. So yeah, maybe you get out your Atraxa here, you put more counters onto my Invasion of Theros. How cruel, but I can make you get sacrificed in a turn or two. Or I could just, like, get a Banishing Light. That's fun, too. It's fun, too. Lets me attack in. I'm going to throw down Heliod. Grab that Trial of Ambition. And pass the turn. Bloomin' Marsh. They have 5 mana up. That's enough for most of the scary planeswalkers in this game. An Assassin's Trophy. Killing Heliod and maybe drawing me a card. Do you pay the 1? Esper Sentinel. a good creature to sit around and get me value. I'm gonna get another black source here. Just so I have it. We do have a couple cards that cost double black. They proliferate. My battle gets a little bit worse. And we use Trial of Ambition to try to kill Atraxa. She dies. That's what I want. I'm going to throw down Zur and Authority of the Consul. So even if they replay Atraxa, she'll be tapped. Bring down this a little bit more. I do really want Afara Ever Sheltering. She's super duper good in this deck. Yes, that's an Esper Enchantments. Oh, you're about to wipe the board. I feel like they're reading my cards. Perhaps checking for additional taxes. Oh, no, wait. This is a Casualties of War. They have black, they have green, green. Artifacts, enchantments, creatures, and lands, and all of them are gone. Rude. Very rude. How about an Ethereal Absolution? You might not have any creatures out now, but maybe in the future you will. Right now I am currently at a Heliod, an Authority of the Consuls, and an Esper Sentinel in the graveyard, which is relevant for artifacts and enchantments, which I can recur. Experimental Augury. This poor battle keeps getting boggled. A Banishing Light. Begone Atraxa. Black Market Connections. I can pay life to make little guys. I can pay life to make treasures, card draw, or colorless changelings. And do I like to pay the 6 life? You know I like to pay the 6 life. Oof! My Brilliant Restoration! No, I was going to use that to bring back all my really cool stuff. Ashiok can now actually make me exile one of these cards if they want to. They don't. That's great for us. Oath of Kaya. I could use that to bop Ashiok so we can't ult next turn. I'm actually going to play Zur, and I think this comes in untapped. Let me just see. Untap. I'm going to use that to animate the Ethereal Absolution and the Banishing Light. And we're going to attack with this at Ashiok and with this at Ashiok. Top 2 cards get exiled. Oh no, they were good ones! Kiora Best, the Sea Gods, and... I think that was an Atrios too. Aw, oh, dang. I wanted to steal. Would have been nice. Another 1-2. Here comes Atraxa. Atraxa does have deathtouch, so she would be able to trade with anything here, but she's only a 3-3. So we can just hit her with the Oath. Looks like our opponent's about to concede. They know we're gaining a ton of life every single turn. We even just drew some removal and reanimation off our Elspeth Conquers Death. We're good. We're handy, and we're gonna win that game. GG Atraxa. Zurgo and Ojutai. Zurgo and Ojutai is a, well, more of a tempo kind of control commander than a dragon's commander, at least in my experience. Zurgo and Ojutai, when it enters the battlefield, has hexproof and flying and haste, meaning it is a very invasive striker and able to get in damage, which causes it to anticipate. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put one in your hand, the rest to the bottom of your library. That adds up to a lot of card advantage and a good opportunity, because after it hits, you can put it back into your hand if you'd like to wipe the board or do anything else. Zurgo and Ojutai. I tax thee. Tax, and I also scry. Temple of Enlightenment, that's another land. I don't really need another land right here. Swing in for 1 off our little Illsight of Life's bounty. So I made this cost 7 instead of 5. That's going to slow them down a little, but I suspect a lot of removal, burn spells, bounce spells, planeswalkers, board wipes, all that kind of stuff until they get this out. Sure, I'll play Zur. Here's Zur. Counterspell? Lightning Helix. That's fair. Here's Zur. Dragon Speaker Shaman! Oh, are they just discounting Zurgon Ojutai, or could this be the rare, the fabled Dragon Zurgo and Ojutai deck? Well, I'm not gonna find out right away because I'm killing that. And I'm playing Hall of Storm Giants and attacking in for 1. Listen, if they have dragons, I don't want to see them because dragons hurt. Get this down, name black, get a scry. What do we find? Cruelty of Gix, I'll take it. I'm going to pay 2 to animate Oath of Kaya and attack in with both. Got ourselves a handy little 3/3 deathtouch lifelink hexproof. That's a dragon, but it's a gold span dragon. Do I want to sacrifice it, or do I want to check out their hand? I'm going to make them sacrifice it. Swing them with all of these. And I'll probably end up animating this Trial of Ambition after. They've got enough mana for Zurgo and Ojutai, but here's Kairi the Swirling Sky. Jeskai dragons indeed. I'm sorry for preemptively judging you, Zurgo and Ojutai. I've just... You know, I've been burned so many times by boring decks with your commander. Let me take a look now. See what you've got in hand. Is it more dragons? Because I'd like some dragons. Adult Gold Dragon and Inferno with a Starn Mount. I'll throw that one in the graveyard, hoping to reanimate it for myself. And I'm going to attack in with each of these. These all have Death Touch, but Kairi has an on-death ability. They prevent 3 damage. Kairi dies, and they can return creatures, but not really because Zur has given these hexproof. Before Zur goes back into hand, I'm going to animate this. I know they don't have a board wipe in hand right now, so having this 5/5 on the board sounds pretty good. They could find one off Expressive Iteration. Let's look at 3 cards. Expressive Iteration. They look at the top 3. 1 goes in hand, 1 goes into exile, and 1 goes on the bottom of their library. What has been revealed? It's a plane, so we don't know what this is. Zurgo and Ojutai could come out. They're not dead yet. Wrathful Red Dragon! Damage dealt to dragons gets reflected. Now what card would I like? What gets rid of a dragon? That gets rid of a dragon. It doesn't deal any damage to it either. Eldest Reborn, say goodbye to your wrathful red dragon. Curse of Silence. I'm going to curse Zurgo and Ojutai again. And swing in for 8. This will die at the start of the next turn. But if I play Zur and I have enough mana, and I do currently, I can also animate Eldest Reborn and swing with that. This is lifelink, right? Yep. Flying lifelink haste. What a pretty card. Like, honestly, beautiful. Love that. Because having this as a blocker is pretty dang good. But we're going to be grabbing a dragon with haste from their graveyard. Eeny, meeny, miny, that one. Perfect. Nice, fast dragon. I guess I also could have used this. But I know what I crave. And it's dragons. And Eldest Reborn, which depicts a dragon. It's Nicol Bolas in the art. They go to 8, but they also take 8. Do they have a piece of removal in hand, or is this game? I think it's gonna be GG. Nice work. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. As always, if you'd like to watch me record this live, you should come over to twitch.tv/Amazonian. I stream Magic there pretty much every single day. Also, I have an additional note. That Zurgo and Ojutai deck that we played against in the video was actually being piloted by one of my viewers, Tepet Mage, who specifically made the deck after I commented that not enough Zurgo and Ojutai decks are actually Dragons decks. So, you know, be the change you want to see in the world. GG, Tepet Mage. I want to say this deck is a super duper fun one. It's been performing very well for me today. I think that it's a fun deck, and if you like enchantments, well, it really does scratch that itch without having to play green. Zur, Eternal Schemer. What a fun deck. If you have a commander you'd like to see or like to see me revisit, please let me know in the comments. And if there is a commander from the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set that you want to see me build, let me know. I'm only able to build the ones that are coming to Arena, which is going to be the ones in the actual set. The commander cards, which includes like a Gandalf and some Frodos and Sams and whatnot, a couple elves, I'm not going to be able to build those. But everything else is free game because it's being released into Alchemy, which means it's going to be Alchemy, Historic, and Historic Brawl Legal, which is great for us Brawl players. I love to see it, and there's a ton of legendaries for us to play around with. Again, thank you so much for watching this video, and have a brawlful day.